live?
Who's that?
I'm not quite awake yet.
Okay, good morning, good morning. Hello, 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 hello. This is me. This is live. Rabbi Brian, glad that you're here. I'm joined with people who are on Zoom with me. They're still joining in. Wave people, say hi. Hello, glad that you guys are all here. And if you're watching afterwards on Facebook or on YouTube, we're so glad that you're here as well. I did last week say that the first person to respond from watching the video with a secret phrase would get a prize, and I did get a number of people, but the first person did get a prize. I did ask the other people afterwards. I said, "Would you feel upset if you didn't get a prize because you're not the first one?" They said, "No, it's okay. I'm a big person. I don't need a prize." Um, Welcome. Glad that you guys are all here. Today is November the 30th. It was recently Thanksgiving down here in the U.S. If you're watching up in Canada, you already practiced your Thanksgiving. I want to tell you, there are so many things I want to start with. No, there are so many things I want to do, but there's only one thing at a time that I can start with. Let me start here. Last week, I made a mistake, and I needed to apologize for that. Last week in this service, I noticed somebody was doing this very thing, and I thought, oh, I must chastise the group and remind people what the basic boundaries are. And then I realized I had done the same thing. And it's just that we need to. So I'm saying this to myself as well as to everybody else, that when we tell stories, we have to make sure that we are telling our own story and we're not telling somebody else's story or giving details in telling a story that could positively identify an individual. So just to be a little more cautious in making sure we're not telling somebody else's stories. And the other is that, my gosh, last week was beautiful, and we have to remember to be careful to not tell somebody what to do. That we need to. People aren't always asking for advice and what should be done. And here's a poem from John Rodell, which I wanted to begin us with today. He says, "When somebody falls apart, don't try to put them back together in your image. In fact, don't try and reassemble them at all. That's not your job. Instead, lay on the ground with them and scoop as many of their broken pieces into your hands as you can. And every now and then whisper to those pieces, 'This is not forever.' That's your job." Let that just sit there for a moment. Again, a few other amens on that.
Yes.
Amen.
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 So let's play a game. What's this poem say? Give me a sentence. Can you wrap up in a sentence what this poem is telling us?
Listen first.
Listen first. We get another interpretation. What's this poem telling
Don't
us?
Don't try to fix people.
Yeah.
Don't try to fix people.
Be with them.
We really do want to fix people. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
Just be with them.
Just be with people in their pain. Now, if you are given the option, and you are given the option, you can sit with somebody in their pain or you could fix them, I think most of us would choose to fix them. It seems like the duh. Why can't we just fix them? Why do we have to why is that not the best option?
How do I know how to fix them?
Oh, it's really easy, Maria. I know pretty much exactly what everyone here should be doing at all times.
Okay, got it. Well, then I'll just send them to you.
I think it's tied up in that phrase, in your image. You know, you're fixing them the way you want them, and that's not necessarily the way they should be.
Thank you.
Plus-
That's
Right.
wonderful.
Plus,
Do
the
not
only
try
way
to-
out, the only way out is through, right? So if you sit with them and be present, then you help them through and out.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to try to help them. In fact, don't try to reassemble them at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just commiserate with them.
Yep.
Lay on the ground with them and scoop as many of their broken pieces into your hand as you can. And I love this. It says, and every now and then, don't do this all the time. Every now and then, whisper to those pieces, this is not forever. Hey, Maria.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. There was a voice that was.
I was just going to say, I think the real issue is that you don't know how to fix people. You know, if you really knew how to fix people, if there was, you know, telepathy and empathy and whatever, you know, then maybe we would fix people. But because we don't, you know, and I think the other part, the sort of the flip side of what's in that poem is the infamous, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't want to be fixed. What do you want?
You're not ready.
I want to be loved.
Everybody agree
Amen.
on that one? I don't want to be fixed. I want just somebody to sit with me in my pain.
I think in that poem too, Rabbi, for me, that line that that it's not forever, that's beautiful. That reminder of impermanence. That's a comfort to the person who's in pain, but a comfort for the person that cares for that person in pain too. You know, thank God it's not forever.
Yeah. Every now and then whisper to those pieces, this is not forever.
Yeah.
And if you fix somebody, are they really fixed? You have just, it's like, I'm going to teach Mason how to bake a cake. Okay. Boom, here's the cake. And he didn't see steps 99 through 7, you know, or 7 through 15 or something like that. Doesn't know how to make a cake. You know, he has a cake, but he's not.
Right.
How can I fix somebody? How can I fix somebody if they don't fix themselves? So
We can't.
I'm babbling.
Yeah.
It's
You're fine.
very
You're
hard
fine.
to know that
Say
it's
it-
not forever.
It's
That-
very hard to know that it's not forever. Yeah.
And especially when you're in the middle of the pain. So unless you've been there and you understand that you come out from the other end, it's one of the most difficult things that you have to do, is just sit through it.
It's really hard to sit through a pain. It's really hard to sit through our pain. It's really hard to sit through someone else's pain. I heard another voice that was coming in. Go ahead, Carol.
I think we have to say what the pain is. If it's physical, then we have to call a doctor. Or if you are a doctor, you're supposed to do something. We're talking about emotional pain, and that is going to take a long time. I mean, you can't get over a major grief in a day. It takes a long time, and you just need to know that there's someone with whom you can be open and honest and really express what you're feeling.
Thank you for that, Carol. And that's what I wanted us to start with this morning. I want us to start with this idea of being open and honest. And I thought somebody mentioned it last week. They said, well, Rabbi, you've been teaching me that I'm not allowed to answer the question, how are you? And I'm not allowed to answer it with fine. I remember I was teaching, there was a Teach for America student teacher named Phil. And he said, Brian, here's the strange thing about you. I'm like, okay, what? He said, when you ask people, how are you, you actually care about the answer. So let me ask this question. I have this outlined. Hold on. Can't find it. Oh, here it is. Are you in trouble? Are you answering the question, how are you, with fine? Or are you in trouble? Are you suffering? Are you troubled? Does it look like your life sucks right now? I'm not asking, are you in trouble, to see, ooh, you're in trouble, but are you struggling right now? Are you overwhelmed? Do you feel like you need a little extra love? And now here's the problem with answering yes to any of those questions, is you're not supposed to answer yes to any of those questions. Somehow we're all taught, I'm gonna just I am having a hard time, but I'm not supposed to tell people about that. My question is the same thing that Phil said to me was, Brian, you seem to care about how other people are. How are you right now? You're supposed to answer fine. But I'm asking you, how are you right now? Say again, Emily?
I hate that question when somebody asks me. I just moved here about a month ago now, and people keep asking me, well, how do you like it here now? And I hate that. And I finally decided just to say, well, give me about a year and I may be able to answer that.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Good for you.
Anyone else want to be done with answering the right answer and answering that you're fine? I guess I'm asking in this forum, and I don't know who's here today. I mean, I know whose faces are here and I can see your names, but I don't know how you are today. And I'm asking, do you want to share? Do you want to walk up to the microphone, tap on it, and say, is this thing on? I'm feeling this way today. Does anyone out there care? Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I'm having another values conflict with the my bosses that bought my business. And it's never fun because I had very different values running the business, and I've sort of brought it up in a chat message to them on Friday, but so far nobody has responded. And I brought it up in a way without saying anything really about feelings. I put it in terms of, can you explain the philosophical view that is here happening here? I don't know whether that was better or worse, but anyways, it's always a little painful, and it makes me a little sad yeah.
You're feeling a bit unstable, a little. What would be the word, Dan?
This is not going to be forever, Dan.
I think sad is the best, I'm working for them. I sort of have to do what they say, but I mean, I could quit if it was absolutely horrible, but on the whole, I understand they bought the business, they get to run it the way they want, but that doesn't mean I have to like it,
Right.
And I have to particularly participate in making things worse for the customers, in my opinion. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing your sadness. I appreciate that. That's exactly what I was going for today.
Mm-hmm.
Is how are you really? Candace, how are you doing today?
Have a good look and guess.
Hard time.
I had a rather nasty fall at the end of our walking group yesterday morning.
Oh,
and yeah, and one of the gals was smart enough to call an ambulance, so the neck wasn't damaged, but I don't remember much about the fall. Maybe I passed out for a moment, but I managed to break the orbital bone both below this eye.
Oh.
And I got a few stitches here and one
Ooh.
stitch here. And it was a really kind of a strange day. I didn't plan to enter the weekend in an ambulance.
Mm.
I'm getting yet another CT scan. So I'm okay, but I'm in pain and my glasses are shot. So you're all looking wonderfully fuzzy this morning.
Thank you for sharing, Candace. Thank you for sharing. And we all know we're not here to fix it, but just to affirm
I
you,
know.
to
Yeah.
say thank you
Oh,
for
my
letting us see
goodness.
you. Go ahead, Bob.
I guess I'm having a trouble with the concept of fixing because my entire career was fixing, but it was
Yeah.
machines and it was not people. So I think that we get into looking at using one word for a lot of different meanings.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
And I
can't
was a
fix.
good fixer.
Yeah. And golly gee, thank you for not trying to fix Candace right now. Thank you for just
Yeah.
sitting with.
Yeah, that's great. Mother Nature will heal it.
Takes time and attention.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ruth.
I think fixing in my head also equals control.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
And giving up your business and letting somebody run something that is your baby must be very painful
Yeah.
because you lose the ability to control things as you see them.
Yeah.
It's a tough way to go. I don't envy you at all.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you. Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, my entire career was in fixing people or trying to fix people.
Right.
And so I find it terribly hard at this point in my life not to try to fix people.
Yeah. Wonderful though that you're noticing it. I mean that's the first step is noticing the thing. And I don't know that there's a phrase for this, but I'm sure some you all have had the same experience I've had where when you know there's a change you want to have made in your life, but you're not yet at the ability to catch yourself before you do the thing. And so you watch yourself do the thing you just said that you weren't going to do.
Yes.
And
Sure.
it's a special little extra. But I'll bring this up to remind us that's part of the process. Part of the process is noticing, oh shit, I'm just about to do, I can't stop myself. It's too late on this case. But the next one, hopefully, will get a little bit faster. We'll get a little bit slower. We'll be able to pause before. I'd tell you a story. Unrelated that I know of. So my beloved Annie last week asked me if I want to go for a drive with her to Seattle to pick up lip balm. And I say, don't they have lip balm here in Portland? And she says, yeah, but it's a special store. And then I had the good grace to realize, why the fuck do I care why she wants to go with me on a road trip to Seattle? The answer's supposed to be, sure, let's go to Seattle to buy lip balm. So I go with her. She's 15. She's new at driving, and we're on the early parts of the drive on the 5, and she goes, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What happened? Dad, I totally screwed up. I forgot I was driving. Now, we all laugh because we know that when you forget about driving, it means that you're driving.
Yeah.
But she was panicked for the first moments of, I don't know how long, 30 seconds, that she wasn't having to think. Brake is on the left, gas is on the right. blinkers are over here. She got. I was very, very proud of her. And we bought lip balm and we drove back. That's the end of that story. Different story. And then we'll go to Lori's learnings. But different story I wanted to share. Last night, my brother-in-law Bob is here, Jane's brother Bob. I have known him. I've known Jane almost 30 years. I've known Bob for equally long. Bob's one of my best buddies. And he's over and he likes nothing more. I bought him, today is his birthday. And as a gift, because he came up yesterday, as a gift for his birthday, I bought firewood. Because Bob loves nothing more than sitting in the living room burning firewood. And he's very happy. While he's sitting in the room burning firewood, chatting with the kids, I set the table for Friday night dinner because that's what I do. And when he came in, the whole table was set, right? The kitchen table was set. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, Brian, this is lovely." And it's that feeling of feeling welcomed. I go over to Jordan's house. We play games on Monday night. Jordan is always going to have snacks at the ready, and he knows what I'm going to... He always asks, but I always drink the same thing. He always says, "Would you like a bubbly water?" I say, "Yes." There's something just delightful in feeling welcomed, in feeling like somebody went out of their time, somebody went out of their way to do a service for you, to do a thing for you. To come to somebody's house and have them put the guest bedroom together makes you feel welcome. To set the table for them makes you feel welcome. To put the peanut M&Ms within my reach makes me feel welcome. Bless you, Lori.
Thank you.
I think that's the stance we want to have. Is we want to make people feel welcome. We want to feel welcomed. And I feel that in this group. And I love that we can feel welcome even as we're having a hard time. We can feel like the table is set for us. And here's a little Jewish history for you. One of the most important law books in all of Judaism is called the Shulchan Aruch, which sounds fancy in Hebrew. It means the set table. Literally, one of the biggest law codes in Judaism is called the set table. Why? Because that's all we can do. Is we can set the table, we can set the stage, and then we can hope. We can hope that the guest appreciates it. We can hope that there's something in it. But all we have power over is setting the stage. Okay. Thank you for joining in on the meal. Thank you for coming in. I don't know. Welcome in, I think is what I'm trying to say. Welcome in. Go ahead, Michael.
Rabbi, thank you for this. There really has to be some divine intervention going on, because this is exactly the message. I attended a session with a psychology session with my son yesterday, and the psychologist was so she's young, right? She's just, to me, she's a child, but she's so mature and strong and wise. And she really put me in my place about how I want to fix everything. And a lot of my attempts to fix is hyperverbalization and blah, 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 blah. And, well, this happened to me, and oh, I read this, and on and on and on. And she almost put her hands over my mouth telling me to shut the F up and look at my son. Just look at him. That's all she told me to do. And it broke my heart. It's really, really going to be hard to just not try to fix.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank God.
You're welcome.
Amen.
It's really hard. Thank you for expressing it again, Michael. It's really hard not to fix. I mean, that's what Bob was saying, that, and somebody else was saying, is that's what Derek was saying. That's what you spent your life doing. You're used to fixing things. Who the fuck, if you have the option between fix and not fix, who's going to choose not fix? And the answer is all of us.
And it's so hard because to see the suffering go on and on and on, and like it's instinct, right? You know, you see somebody hungry, you want to feed them. But I think I'm starting to understand that doing nothing is doing something, is doing everything. I think I'm starting to get it. It's hard though.
It is hard. And the same thing that I said before is you're going to notice yourself doing it and not being able to, that you didn't stop yourself. You're going to notice that it's a hard thing to do. Ren Ruvain, go ahead.
Michael, thank you for sharing that. You hit the nail on the head with what I struggle with. I'm very guilty of lording over Holly, especially in the kitchen. I can't shut up about doing things this way, that way, and you know she'll tell me, "Why are you criticizing me?" And I'll jump back offended. I'm not criticizing you. Really though, dude, you are. You know, and thank you very much for that.
I love you.
Thank you, Holly. Yeah. I'm just helping. I'm just trying to help Jane because she's using the serrated knife to spread butter.
That's a crime.
No! Oh no!
She almost put the tomatoes in the refrigerator. Thank God I was there to stop her. I hover over her when she's in the kitchen, and it's not her strong suit anyway. So thank you, Rand, for the reminder. Love doesn't mean changing people. It means accepting them as they are.
Amen.
Should we take a little detour back to remember what love is? Who's got a 4-letter acronym that describes love? I got one.
You do.
Or.
Y'all remember this one?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first part of love is seeing. It's being willing to be seen. It's our seeing somebody else. But the first part of loving is seeing, which is why when I asked you a little bit ago, is there anyone who needs a little extra love? Is there anyone who's in trouble? Anybody who's suffering? Well, we can't see you unless you tell us. So you have to be willing to be seen in order to get love. And especially to be seen in the places where we're broken a bit. We don't want to be seen in the parts where we're broken. But that's where we need to be loved. So we have to allow it. See, what's the A?
Accept.
Accept. I love you, now change. The story at weddings is that the first thing that the bride sees is she sees the altar where she's going to be standing, and then as she walks down, she first sees the aisle. First she'll see the aisle, then she'll see the altar, and then she'll see her groom standing up there. And they say that's what brides are often thinking is aisle, altar, him. I like that joke.
Guilty.
See, accept, understand, respond. Where is fixing? Fixing might be under respond at the end, but fixing is not important. Seeing, accepting, and understanding, that's what's important. Go ahead, Candace.
I think Barbara Streisand once said this. I think it's a quote from her, where she said, "Women spend all their time, well, wives spend all this time trying to change their husband, and then they complain he's not the man they married."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be careful. Be careful. And Candace, I want to zoom in on you for a second also to thank you for showing us that it's okay to look ugly.
Oh, it sure is.
Right? How many of us have the strength that Candace has to keep our videos on when we're not feeling our best?
Not me.
Right? So thank you, Candace. And that's for emotional and physical maladies. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't know if that's ugly or just banged up, but okay.
Yeah. Thank you. My words are off.
I'm curious about the people who said that their jobs were to fix people. I had that mistaken notion a bit about being a rabbi. My doctor can heal me from a disease, but he doesn't necessarily fix me. My counselor can help me understand my stuff better, but doesn't necessarily fix me. And I'm not sure what professions we have that we actually, the job is to fix people. It's to help them along. It's to do some aids. It's to repair some pieces along the way. But fixing is, I think, awful big. And we have to be careful with that.
I think Bob and Derek would agree. We have to be careful when we're trying to fix people. Machines is a different story. Machines can be fixed, but not people.
Most machines come with an owner's manual.
In multiple languages.
Don't.
Yeah.
There are a few good thoughts about what we're here to do. Love, patience, seek mercy, walk humbly with your God. Here, what are we asked to do? It even says in the Bible,
Yep.
Justice, love mercy,
Love
walk
mercy,
humbly
walk humbly
with your God.
Mm.
I think that's in Micah.
Yeah, probably
Just so
my
happen to
favorite
have that
verse.
there. We're going to try something different. Hi, folks. Let's try something different. We're going to try practice. I'm handing you a menu. Can you read the words that are on there? Is it large enough?
Not really.
Okay. Can you read it now?
I can.
I can help, but I cannot do this for you.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you are 9 different boundary phrases. And you are to pick the one that you are going to want to practice. So if the second one comes up and you like that one better than the first, drop the first. But if you don't like the second one, hold on to the first. So I can help, but I cannot do this for you. That's option number 1. Option 2, I am not responsible for your emotions. You're just to memorize one of these phrases. If you don't like it, maybe you like this one better. I respect your opinion, but I have my own opinion as well. Oopsie. I understand you're upset, and I am not okay with being spoken to that way. I am done talking about this. Oh my gosh. You gotta be really brave to do that one. I need you to understand what I'm feeling. I don't need help problem solving right now. And let me try it a third time. Right now, I need some time to myself. I would love to hear more about this later. I understand I am important to you, and while I care about you, I need some space. And finally, number 9, no. Those are your 9 options, folks. I cannot help, but I can help, but I cannot do this for you. I am not responsible for your emotions. I respect your opinion, but I have my own opinions as well. I understand you're upset. I am not okay with being spoken to that way. I am done talking about this. I need you to understand what I'm feeling. I don't need help problem solving right now. Right now, I need some time by myself. I would love to hear more about this later. I understand I am important to you. While I care about you, I need some space. And finally, no. Does everyone have one of those phrases locked in their mind that it might be, hey, this next week, one of those phrases might come up?
Oh, so many of them.
You only get one.
Rabbi,
Set boundaries.
Go ahead, Lori.
I have to go shortly, and I'm
Oh,
just
good.
wondering, do you want
Perfect
me
timing.
to do... Okay, okay. So you want me to do my learnings?
Well, Lori,
I'm
are any of these phrases more applicable, or do you want to stick with what you came prepared with?
Well, I've already got it in the chat, so I
Okay.
might as well. The
We're going to
second
come
last.
back to folks, we're going to come back to these boundaries in a second. Let's hear from Lori what Lori's learned, and then she has an extra appointment today. I can't remember what it was, but it's all fun.
Sermon writing workshop.
Good luck.
So I'm gonna do number 3 first because it kind of goes with what Michael said. So my new therapist gave me homework on loving myself. And I realized that I think I only love myself when I'm helpful to others. It's transactional in nature. And it's not because I'm this wonderful, selfless person. I learned it in my family of origin. And I need to find ways to love myself unconditionally for who I am, not what I do. And that's why it's so difficult in dealing with my son because I'm used to swooping in and fixing things, and I need to stop doing that. And it strikes at the heart of who I thought I was.
Thank you, Lori. That you
Okay.
thought you only had worth when you were saving people.
Yeah.
Anyone else
Because
on the screen have that same issue? Anyone else? It's just Lori, correct? Just Lori?
No.
Lori.
No.
No, I think it seems to be other people as well. That we think we only have value if we are being of service, active service towards someone else. Okay, I have news for you. You're all fired. You're all off active duty with other people. You are no longer to fix them and get your worth that way. You are just to be with them. Sorry about the abrupt management style change, but go ahead, Lori.
Okay, and so regarding my experience last week on Religion Outside the Box, sharing with you all what was in my heart, I learned that being vulnerable has many benefits, and opening yourself up to others. Opening yourself up gives others permission to be open to you with both support and if they're going through similar circumstances. And I once read a book about a minister who lost his son, and he continued to work, and although the congregation knew about it, in time it became something that wasn't talked about. Years later, he unintentionally broke the silence from the pulpit, and poured his heart out. Both the congregation and he really benefited from that, and he found that people came to him more willingly with their problems and that he could minister more effectively because he'd been honest about his pain.
Lori?
Yeah.
I think that's what happened last week.
Did I say that last week?
You didn't say that last week. You showed it
Oh,
last week.
that is what happened last week, very much so.
Right. So if you weren't here last week, Lori shared her heart with the group. And I mean, I don't know what you're doing in sermon writing, but what you said last week was one of the finest sermons I'd ever heard or seen.
Right.
Amen. Amen.
And the third thing is I wanted to recommend, I've been reading a book by Michael Singer called The Untethered Soul. I don't know if anyone else has come across it. And it talks about that little voice that narrates our lives in our head, and he says that the voice doesn't really mean anything, good or bad, whatever it's trying to tell us, it's not really us. And he recommends acknowledging the voice and then stepping back, figuratively stepping back from it, thereby releasing its hold on us.
Sounds wise.
Yeah, it's a really good book. Really good book.
Thank you.
So, and with that, I have to go.
Thank you, Lori. We'll see you next week.
Lori, just a sec. I don't see your 3 learnings in the chat.
I haven't done them yet. I've got them on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Lori. There's that feeling of feeling seen, of feeling attuned to, of feeling loved, of feeling safe. And part of it is the circumstance around us that is set up to hold us. The other is us being brave enough to take a chance. It's easier to be attuned to Lori after Lori tells us how her heart is. Okay. I have some announcements to make. One, it's okay not to be okay. It sucks to not feel. We want to feel good all the time, but it's okay that we're not always okay. That's just how it is. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be annoyed. It's just not okay to be a jerk about it. And then I had one more hiding under there. This one says, there is lots suboptimal. We need live generously in it. There's lots of shit. We have to learn to live gracefully. Sorry, I said the wrong word. We need to learn to live gracefully in all the shit. Other announcements. I had such a great time last week with you guys, and I thank you. I really feel something is shifting in this whole service. It's becoming more and more real every Saturday, and I thank you guys for keeping it real. Candace, you just showed up on my screen, and I thank you for keeping it real, being open and honest. And thank you to Dan and to everyone else who shared, Ran and Steve, everyone who shared about their heart. I appreciate that. Okay, I have directions that we can still go in. We still have about 10 minutes, but instead of me choosing, let me check around the room. Hi, people. I'll make a quick announcement. If you want more, there's more. If you want to join the Tuesday office hours and join people, if you want to join, we have lots of groups that are happening. We're starting one that's new. I don't see Rita here, but we'll put her email in it. Maria, can you post all of our various other groups to the chat? And if you're on YouTube or on Facebook, you can't see what Maria's posting. No, you can't. You have to
I was going to post them. Don't post them on Facebook.
No, I think that's a much better idea. Let's post it on Facebook too. If you go to rotb.org, no, don't go there. Well, you can go there. Go to Facebook/groups/4 and then ROTB. You can find the Religion Outside the Box Facebook page. It's facebook.com/groups/4 and then ROTB. Religion Outside the Box. You find the group there. Thank you, Maria, for posting all the various groups. We have a lot of them. If there's a group that's not there that you would like to start, hey, we have space for you. Let's make that happen. John Finley, you have your hand patiently raised. Thank you for waiting. What's up, my friend?
Going back to the 9 things that you just posted about the choices, and one on there kind of gets my vote, and that's the one about I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My variation on that is I'm glad to discuss with you. I have no interest in debating with you.
I agree with you, John. I once I found out that the etymology of the word debate came from the same etymology as the word do battle, that battling with somebody. I have no desire to do that, but to sit with you and listen and have an exchange, absolutely. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I have no wish to make any effort to change your mind. I'd like to listen to you.
Right.
And hopefully the same goes the other way.
Agreed.
Save the chat.
Thank you, John. So let me go. If there's nobody else with a direction of how we should go from here, I'm going to assume we're leaving that to me. Okay, we're leaving that to me.
Can I make a request, Rabbi?
Please, Gord.
That boundaries poster that you've been showing, is there a way for you to post that on the Facebook page? Because I've been trying to madly write down. I know I was only supposed to pick one, but I want all 9.
Okay. I will make sure. I'll tell you what. How about it goes out as the 2-point summary in the email?
Beautiful. Thank you.
I'll do it there as well. So, Gord, of the 9, which one do you think you would be practicing this week?
Door number 1.
Door number 1.
I can help do this for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, as parent and teacher.
Yeah. I had a child recently, I'm not naming names, but a 15-year-old girl who lives in my house asked me if I would log on to her driver's ed and push a button so it would say here at the right time so she could go do something else. And I said exactly this. I said, you can't ask me to do that. You just can't ask me to do that. She said, oh, okay. And I asked her the next day, how did you figure it out? She explained how she made it happen from where she was with her phone. But the thing was, she asked me to do something that I couldn't do for her, and I was able to say, I can't help you with this. It's not good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else? Which one are you picking of these 9? Go ahead, Patricia.
I'm a deep introvert, so I pick number the bottom left side. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. How would you say it, Patricia? Practice it for me.
I hear you. I'll get back to them. Let me mull it over. I'll have an answer in about 2 weeks. I can stall as well. I can never come up with what I want to say concisely, right, as you have heard all morning long.
Right. And then
right there.
Ironically, of course, I'm putting you on the spot, asking you to do the very thing that you're not so strong with. So thank you for doing that, for demonstrating. And folks, listen, this is a little pediatric, but this is also how we learn, is we practice aloud and we say the thing aloud, and it helps us to be able to do it. This is learning. Go ahead, Derek. Oh, Derek, you are on mute, so we didn't get to hear you.
I would pick number 9. No.
Nope, number 9. Derek, would you tell us about boundaries?
Yeah,
you just say no.
No. No, I won't tell you about boundaries.
I love that. Hey, Derek, could you tell us about boundaries?
No.
That's it. Perfect. Well done. Anyone else want to try?
No.
Perfect.
Created a monster.
I'll tell you in a month.
Yeah.
I'm done talking about this.
Why do you think it's so hard for us to set boundaries?
Because we
We
want
want
to
to
be
be
liked.
loved.
Yeah.
We want to be liked. We want to be liked. Yeah. Can we set boundaries? Do we automatically not like people who set boundaries? No.
Mm-mm.
We're all right with that. Okay. Any follow-ups on title of your book chapter? We did that last week. It said if your life was a novel, what would the chapter title be? Any further thoughts on that? I can get rid of this card then. No further thoughts on that.
No.
I can do one.
Do it.
Transitioning to the fourth walk.
Transitioning to the fourth. I didn't hear the last word, John.
Walk. W-A-L-K.
Transitioning to the fourth walk.
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm not sure I know what the first three are, but I don't think I need to know.
Do you want me to expand a little?
It's up to you. You're the one who knows.
In his book, Wab Canoe writes about his father and writes The Reasons You Walk is the title of the book. And basically he divides life into 3-4 different stages. The fourth walk is returning to the maker, completing the circle of life. So I see myself transitioning towards the fourth walk.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, John. Thank you for teaching us some. Yeah, Ron.
Once you're over the hill, you pick up speed.
It's a good book title.
Are we going to do our list?
Our prayer list, we should do that, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Maria, thank you. Thank you, Meg.
Yeah. These are the people to whom we are sending light and love. Ken in Spirit and Joe, Carolyn, Brandon, Flynn, and Porter, Lauren, Brian, Addie, and Lincoln, the Ludwig and Applebaum families, Sheridan H., Shirley W., Judy Love and her family, Jeff, Norm and Mary, Mish and Payson, Greg, David in Spirit and Pat Conrad and family, Irene F. in Spirit, Bruno S., Francis S. and their families, Patsy's sister Sue, Lori and family, Debbie F., Becca, Nicole, Yuval and Lorena, Gwen, Jennifer G., Tane and Ralph, Gwen, Marianne in Spirit, Cullen, Emily, Candace, Greta and Scott, Liam and Rachel, Harvey and Mary. If there is another person in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Thank you, Maria. We will take a minute of time. Well, thank you all. So I have an announcement to make, which was I I allowed myself for today's service to not outline it as I have in the past and to just see where we went. And I have some thinking that I have to do about what we just did. But I thank you for joining me, and I am constantly relearning how to do this service. And I thank you for your patience as we don't have a set liturgy. We're figuring this whole thing out, and it keeps changing as we do it. So I thank you for sticking with something that's not packaged perfectly, but I think it's working pretty well. So thank you for being part of this experiment, and we're going to break into. Let's say goodbye to all the people who are not on Zoom. Oh, golly gee, waving goodbye to all them. Thank you, all those people, and I'm going to stop the recording and ask Maria to